Hi Flosstube friends, welcome back to my channel. I'm Nicole Buckeye Stitcher. I'm here to do my July update. I've got some things to show that I received, some progress that I've made this month, a new milestone was reached, and results of the county fair. So let's get started. I'm going to start first with the things I received. I technically did not purchase these things. I'm trying to do Stitch from Stash, although I did break that today because today is the Picture This Plus 25% off for 24 hours sale. So I knew going into Stitch from Stash that I was going to break that because that's a great time to get fabric for your stash. I don't necessarily need it for anything that I'm planning on doing soon. I placed my order at 10 till 7 this morning, so hopefully I'm going to be on the shorter end of getting my order. I think I said in my last video it was like 7 weeks last year and 12 weeks the year before, but the year before I placed my order after I got home from work. So anyways, these are things that I purchased in April and May and didn't receive them until now. So the first thing is a pattern I got from a store on Etsy. I don't know how you pronounce her last name. It's Kanikis, K-A-N-I-K-I-S. I'll put the link down below. I was enabled to buy this from my friend Christy. She is local to me, and we've become friends through our retreat and some Stitch Away events. But anyways, everybody who has stitched this at our Stitch Away events, or Stitch In events, has been enabled by Christy, I'm finding out. So she is the root of this evil. So this is the pattern. It's a primitive Santa, and you do not stitch the music sheet in the background. That is already printed on the fabric. Okay, ready? Wait for it. This is the fabric. So it comes in different sizes, different measurements of piece of fabric, but also different counts. And you stitch right over this. I love it. I am planning on doing this for my mom because this is something that she would love. Probably not for this Christmas. I've got too many other things planned, and I already did her sled for her gift. But I really am looking forward to this pattern. The one thing I don't like about this pattern, and it sounds like some things have been improved. So the pattern used to be pretty small apparently. Now the pattern is split up into multiple pages, and I'm just going to show you one page because you're not going to get anything from one page. However, everything is all in drab colors. So it's really hard to pick out the colors. So if you're going to purchase this, which I say purchase it, just know that the chart is a little bit difficult to read just because of the colors, but apparently she did make the pattern, oh, that was upside down, whatever. She did make the pattern bigger because I was at a Stitch event a couple weeks ago and someone else is currently stitching this, and her pattern was on one sheet of paper. Just this size, the whole pattern. So she did make some improvements, but it's still pretty dark. She also has another one that's pretty cool. It's the sheet music of Amazing Grace, and it's a church kind of winter scene. So that I feel like that would interest a lot of you guys too. So I'll put the link to her website below. It did take a long time to get this fabric because she obviously hand dyes it and whatever magic she does to get this on here takes quite a while. So that took a while to get. Like I said, I ordered it in May and I got it, I don't know, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. So it was already paid for. And then the other thing, so back in the beginning of April, I was in Columbus for a one-day conference. And if you remember me saying, I went to Cross My Heart, which is the local needlework shop in Columbus, and bought a bunch of stuff. There were 2 things I saw on the wall that I had never seen before that I was super interested in, but they were out of. So they were going to order them for me and call. So April came and went, May came and went, June came and went, and the beginning of July they called and said, your patterns are in. Technically I hadn't paid for them then. I kind of just forgot about it, and I thought, well, I don't need them. I've got plenty of stash. But anyways, I paid for them and received them. So technically I did pay for these in July, but I'm not counting it against Stitch from Stash because I'm not on Facebook and I'm not really playing the game the way it's supposed to be played, so my rules. So the first one is a Mirabilia, and it is totally not what I think of as a typical Mirabilia. It's a series of 4. It's a woman designing her greenhouse, and for some reason I just loved this winter. I don't know if it's just the color of her dress or just how simplistic it is. There's no beads. I lied. There is 1 bead. I don't know where it goes. Oh, it probably goes up here in this mistletoe. But each one, winter, spring, summer, fall, is the story of this greenhouse. So in this one, she's designing her greenhouse, and then it goes on. The other ones are pretty, but I really, really liked this one. So I'm excited about that one. It's big. I'm going to try and do it on a smaller count fabric because it was pretty big in the store, and I don't know where I would hang it, but I do really like it a lot. The other one was right next to that one, and it was a cat face. It's, you know, like this big, and it looked pretty modern. The colors were tabby colors, and I used to have a little tabby cat named Ocho. I lost him 2 years ago, and I just loved him. He was just a sweet little thing, and this reminded me of him. So the pattern comes, and I'm expecting it to be, you know, a single pattern, right? Not only is it not a single pattern, it is from, oh shoot, sorry, I thought I had the copyright on here. 1985. This leaflet is from 1985. So that's the pattern. I still really, really like it. I just find the rest of this book pretty 1985. So here's, like, what is that? There's no cat that looks like that. No cat looks like that. And I'm one of those people that if I'm gonna do some kind of an animal, or if I'm gonna have animal artwork in my house, the face has to look real. I don't want it to be cartoony. Its eyes have to really be pretty true. So, like that one's not bad. But there is no cat that looks like this. I'm gonna look and see what kind of cat it says it is, because they all have names. If we can find it real quick. So anyways, I thought that was pretty funny that this old, I mean, it's old. The pages are like a little yellowed. I think it was, what did I pay for it? It says $6. Yeah, I think I paid $6 for the whole book up here. I don't think that they changed the price, but it's from 1985. So Steph at Just Keep Stitching, if you want this, whenever I'm done with this thing, it is yours, girlfriend. Okay, I can't find that. Silly. I just wanted to see what they have that face listed as. Persian head study. Persian cats do not look like that. I know. Okay, so then I also, okay, milestone, Facebook milestone, Flosstube milestone. I got my first racks. So Jen's Stitching Niche showed this pattern on Instagram. And I had seen this on somebody's Flosstube before, but I couldn't find this, and that's because it came in this Stitchy box, and it's copyrighted for Stitchy box with Quaker Fantasy, so they don't sell it, you can't get it. But I love it. I think it is so cute. So I commented on Jen's Instagram. See, this is why I can't do social media, because I don't even know what social media I'm talking about. I commented on Jen's Stitching Niche's Instagram page, and she said, if you want it, you can have it. I've already stitched it. I think she said she stitched it a couple times. She also sent me the orange threads that went with it. This is Fiberlicious Sun-Baked Orange Silk, because she said, I think she said she stitched it 2 times, and this was still what was left over. So she sent me that, and then I bought Classic Colorworks Jolly Holly as the green to go with it. So I love that. I don't know if I'm going to do it on purple. I might look at some of those XJU Design fabrics that I got, the dark black or the gray, and see what it'll look like with these colors. I'm not opposed to doing it on purple. I just don't have any purple fabric. So we will see. So that is one. And then I sent a pattern. So last video I made, I said that I bought a grab bag during Silver Needle's sale, and I think I said I paid $12 for it, and it was $30 worth of stuff. Wrong. I paid $12 for it, but it was well over $100 worth of patterns, and I think there were some accessories. So most of the stuff I didn't care for, not anything I was going to keep, but there was an X's and O pattern called Slicker Parade, and if you watch Pam, I just forgot your channel. Not Pam of Pam and Steph, but Pam in New York. Stitching something. I'll put it down below. She did a really cool X's and O pattern of a little kid swinging in a tree. I love it. And so I messaged her before I watched her most recent video and said, hey, I got this pattern. I'm not going to stitch it. If you want it, I'm happy to send it to you. And she said, I just bought it. You haven't watched my most recent video, have you? No, I didn't. So I went and watched her video, and sure enough, she had just bought it. So I'm reading through the comments, and Kathleen from Kathleen's Trodden Trail commented about how beautiful it was and how much she enjoyed seeing it. Well, I love Kathleen's videos too, so I messaged her through that little conversation and said, hey, I have it. I'm not going to stitch it. If you want it, it's yours. So I just sent it over to her. Well, she sent me, which, Kathleen, you did not need to send anything, stuff. So she made me a project bag. There's already a Christmas project in here. But if you have watched my videos before, you know how much I love cardinals. So she made me a little Christmas bag, and it's got the little blank tag that I can write whatever project I'm putting on here, and you can change that out. But she also made me this little N tag with little beads. And this is the first thing that anybody, except my family, has cross-stitched for me. I love it. It's a cute little thing, cute little tag, and she just pinned it on so I could move it, but I'm just gonna leave it here. And then I left the goodies in here as well. So she sent me a sweet little card, and then she remembered that I loved hedgehogs. So she sent me some little hedgehog socks, cute. And then some little coasters, which I am gonna put next to my chair that I stitch in because I love to drink tea. So that's that. So thank you, Kathleen and Jen. I will be sure to list their channels below so you can check them out if you haven't already. I know I've mentioned them before. I just love watching their videos. And Pam, whenever I remember what the heck your channel name is, I will link it below as well. Pam and I have had some really good conversations because if you've watched her channel, she talks about her grandparents visiting her grandparents when she was growing up in Northeast Ohio. Well, it turns out that she's from basically the same place where I grew up. So we've talked about summer places that we visited. We talked about the LNS that used to be up there. So that's been fun getting to know her. She doesn't, like I said, she lives in New York, not Ohio. But whatever. Okay, so that's that. Let's talk about the fair. Oh, wait, one thing before we talk about the fair. I mentioned I like to drink tea. Bendy, Stitchy, Michelle, and the Weasleys always show their mugs because they are addicted to the Starbucks mugs. I have quite a few as well, but I have the old school ones. And I don't think I've ever seen one anywhere. But this is Pike's Place Market from the original Starbucks store, which it technically is not the original Starbucks store because it burned down. This one's down the street, but it's still pretty close. So I have a Pike's Place Market mug. And no, I'm not sending it to you, Michelle. I was currently drinking out of it earlier today. Okay, let's talk about the fair. So I don't know what I was expecting about this fair. Actually, I do. I think I was expecting it to be like what everybody talks about, the state fair. It is not the state fair. It is not nearly as organized. It was not nearly as big. I was quite disappointed. So, I mean, the experience wasn't bad, but I just was disappointed. So if you remember in my video when I talked about the fair, I said it cost $25 to enter the fair. I don't think I had to pay $25. This is the paper I had to fill out. Okay, I will read it to you. So first it says you can go online or you can fill out this paper. Okay, well, I went online multiple times and I couldn't get the form to come up. So finally I called and they said, oh, we never got that feature to work. Take it off your website. Secondly, it says, or mail entries and payment to blah, 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 Warren County, Ohio Fairgrounds. And you can either buy a membership ticket, which gives you access to the fair, like free entry basically, for the whole week, and you get to vote. Or the season ticket, which is $25, which basically just gives you access to the fair, you don't get to vote. And says can be mailed with your tags. So when you read that, you think, well, I have to pay $25 in order to enter the fair. Fine. So my photocopy comes back to confirm that I've been entered, and I have the little tickets that I'm supposed to put on my pieces, and I have no membership ticket. Okay, fine. I pick it up at the fair, right? Right. So on the website, it tells you what days you drop off your whatever class you're entering. If it's, you know, cattle, rabbits, needlepoint, flower arrangement, whatever. It doesn't tell you where. It just says the fair grounds. Okay, well, the fairgrounds are not that big, but I've never been there in the 11 years I've lived here. So I go to the fairgrounds and I pull in, and I happen to pull in at the second entrance, which happens to be in front of a building that on the side of the building says antiques, arts, crafts, baked goods, whatever. I don't know. And I'm thinking, okay, well, this must be the building. So I go to the front door, because if you pull the front of a building and there's a door in the front, that seems to be the door that you would go in, right? Wrong. All I see are a bunch of empty display tables. Like, probably they're going to put things on here, but there's no people. There's no lights in this part of the building. So I called the phone number on the website and my phone wouldn't connect. It didn't even give me like the number not in service. It was some weird message that basically your phone couldn't connect. So, okay, so I'll walk around to the side door and see. And when I look in, it looks like it's abandoned as well. It's dark. I don't see any people. There's just empty display cases. And then I see 3 women sitting at this little table. No sign, nothing. So I opened the door and I said, I'm trying to drop off my pieces that I entered in the fair. And they said, oh, you do it here. Okay, so I attached my tags because there's no directions on how the tag has to be attached, which, you know, if you've entered the fair for the last 25 years, you get it. But one, look at me. Do I belong at the county fair? No, I don't know what I'm doing. How do I put the tags on? I certainly don't want to break the rules and be disqualified, right? Okay, so submit my pieces. And I say, I need to get my membership ticket that I already paid for. Where do I go to do that? So they take me down this winding thing past all the food trucks or whatever, down near the pig barn at the main office. So I go in the main office and the girl that was working there was super, super nice and I said, I need to pick up my ticket. I've already paid for it, but it didn't come in my envelope. And she said, okay, I just need to check with my supervisor who's on the phone to see if it's already been filled out or if I need to fill it out for you. Okay, so I wait a couple minutes, not a big deal. Her supervisor gets off the phone and she comes up to the desk and the girl says the same thing to her and she said, did you get it with your entry form? And I said, no. That's why I'm here. And she said, well, we had some confusion because this little box right here where it says ticket received is okayed as if they mailed me my ticket. And she said, but we weren't really clear about that, so we don't know if that meant that we mailed you the tickets to put on your pieces or we mailed you your membership ticket that's right there. And I said, well, I sent the check in, but I didn't get anything because it says can be, doesn't say will be. And there's no option to choose yes or no. So she says, okay, well, we'll just write one out for you. Okay, so she writes it out for me and she says, okay, that's $25. And I said, I already sent my check in. Which she totally believed me. She wrote the ticket out, fine, whatever. However, never at any point of submitting my pieces did someone say, do you have your membership ticket? So that's why I think I didn't have to send that $25 check-in. Because clearly they didn't send it with me. They didn't ask for it when I submitted my pieces to the abandoned building. So Julie McConnell in Reflections, you don't have to pay to enter the fair, only if you want the membership thing, which I didn't really care about the membership thing. We were gonna go one day. Admission is $8 for an adult. Funny story, I got them. So you pull in and parking's free at this little tiny county fair, but you pay admission when you get there. So the girl taking money says that'll be $16 because my boyfriend and I were both in the car. Well, I hold up the little membership ticket that I ended up getting. She thinks it counts for both of us and she says, okay, you're all set. And I'm like, okay, thanks. And Brian, my boyfriend, bends down, because I was driving, bends down to get my wallet and says, oh no, wait. And I was like, no, we're good, we're good. And he looks at me and I was like, I'm not paying on top of what I already paid for this stupid membership ticket. Screw them, suckers, right? So we got in for free. And you get prize money if you get ribbons. So, okay, so we walk around the fair, we eat, we look at all the little fun animals, great. So we go to the arts and crafts building. There were 5 needlepoint entries. No, 6 needlepoint entries. One, I don't even know if it was latch hook rug, if it truly was needlepoint, it was huge. 6 entries total. Oh, that's the other thing that's frustrating. So when you fill out your little form, you fill out what department, what section, what class you're in. Okay, well, it tells you the department if you're picking needle arts. Then it tells you the class if you're section. If you're doing cross stitch, crochet, blah, 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 right? Then you get to the part where it's your class. Extra small, small, medium, large, with no description of what that means. So you're on your own. I think this is small, I think this is medium, whatever. So I entered both of mine in small because I have no idea what any of these are. So we get there. There are 6 needle art pieces. All of them except 2 seem roughly about the same size as my 2. So I had 2 of 6 entries. One's super huge, one's little, the other 4 were all the same size. Every single one had a ribbon on it. Every single one. So I don't know if maybe they were different classes. I don't know if everybody gets a ribbon. It seemed like everything in the arts and crafts building had some kind of a ribbon on it. I am hearing that there could be more than one first place, which, you know, you can win more than one. You can have more than one gold medal, silver medal, bronze medal at the Olympics. I just feel like if there's one first place, there's one first place. So after all that complaining, let's see what I got. So I entered, this is Little House Needleworks Coming to America. This is on some kind of 32 count fabric that I tea dyed and burnt in the oven. And I got second place out of 6, out of 4, because I don't know if the other, I don't know what the classes were. So second place wins you $2. Look at that. And then I also entered my Plum Street Samplers Halloweenies. And this is stitched on 36 count, I don't remember. 36 count, probably a Lakeside linen. How do I not remember? Anyways, I got a first place. Look at that. I don't know if my second place is second to my own or if it was second to another first place in my class. There's no description. There's also no comments. So I think that must just be a state fair thing. No comments from the judges. So a first place ribbon wins you $3. So I won $5 at the fair and got $16 of free entry. So I'm only down $4. So it was fun. I get it. It's just a county fair. Our county fair is pretty small. Now that I've been there, it's pretty small. I just felt like it was quite uninformative, maybe a little bit disorganized, and I don't really understand how it works. Also, when I dropped these pieces off, one of the ladies that was at this table taking the pieces in raved and raved about this. She really looked at it because she's got a dachshund. So I don't think she cared about the fabric or the technique or anything except that it was a dachshund. Well, when I went to pick it up and gave my claim ticket and said my name, she said, oh, was that the piece with the dachshund? So I don't know if she was a judge and she put this as a first place just because she likes dachshunds. This was much more work. Much more work. Whatever. Oh, and then when you pick up your winnings, like you get your pieces back and you go sign off on your winnings and you get your money, they say, thanks for entering, see you next year. I don't know if I'll do it next year. I would seriously consider the state fair. Julie said that hers, in Nebraska, they have pickup places where you can meet people like halfway to the fair. Instead, like for me, it would be an hour and a half one way to drive to Columbus to the state fair. I don't know how I feel about that. But anyways, so it was fun. It's fun to say you won ribbons, but when you only had 6 entries total and 2 of them were yours and everybody gets a medal, you get a medal, you get a medal. Not a medal. Ribbon. Everybody gets a ribbon. I don't know. Whatever. Okay, so let me show some progress. One thing I want to say, I already said that today's the Picture This Plus sale. It goes until midnight tonight. Everything's 25% off. Fabric, all the colors, all the crystal effects, any sizes, any count. Also, it is 6 months, well actually it's 5 months and 2 weeks away from Stitchaway, which is my LNS's retreat. So I will put, Keepsakes is the name of my LNS. I will put their information below. Their website is pretty much non-existent, so you're not going to be able to go to the website and find information, I don't think. There used to be pictures of an old retreat on there, but I don't even think the order form's on there anymore. But you can call and they can send one or fax one if anybody has a fax machine. That's how old my technology is. Anyways, but I'll put the information below for the dates. It's always the long weekend of Martin Luther King Day. So it's like Wednesday through Sunday of the week before Martin Luther King. So it's in January. It's in Hocking Hills, which is a really nice state park, but it's in January, so you're not going to do a whole lot. It's an older state park, so it's not super fancy, but there's a nice restaurant. There's some restaurants outside the park that are decent. There's a refrigerator in your room. You can bring food, drink. We bring lots of drink. So I'll put their Keepsakes phone number. I'll put some brief information about the price below. It kind of depends on how many days you're going and if you're staying in a room by yourself or with other people. But yeah, less than 6 months. Less than 6 months, peeps. Okay, progress. I'm a little excited about retreat. Can you tell? Oh, I put a video from this year's retreat up. So if you've watched all my videos, you've already seen it. If you haven't watched all my videos, go towards the beginning where I was new at doing this, and Barbara, the shop owner, kind of guilted me into doing a video. But that'll kind of give you kind of a quick view of what the area kind of looks like. And you can look up Hocking Hill's website. They have a decent website of what their rooms look like and the restaurant and that kind of thing. Okay, so what I worked on this month, so I got a decent amount of progress considering that my bosses were out of town for 2 weeks, not out of the country. They technically were in the country, but they were in Alaska. And like I said before, the farther away they go, the crazier things get. It was mildly crazy, pretty busy, pretty busy. I can't complain about being busy. But there's days when I feel like surely I have forgotten a dog somewhere in a cage, or maybe I left a client in an exam room as I'm halfway home. That has never happened to me, but you just feel like you're forgetting something when your day is booked from beginning to end. But I do appreciate being busy. So anyways, I got a decent amount done considering it was crazy busy the first couple weeks. I was on call the first week. I'm on call starting yesterday, but I am bound and determined to get stuff done this month, at the end of this month, because I think there's still, what, 5-6 days left. So I worked on the Snowflower Diaries, Joyful World Salad, July. Love it, love it, love it. I'm really having some angst. I've already taken this out once. I'm not real happy with this. I probably can't get it close enough. It doesn't matter. I think the problem is I'm doing this 2/2 on 36 count because I like how it looks, but when you try and do lines of it, it's just too thick. But I'm gonna keep going. And so this is as far as I got. I started this at the Tiara Stitchin' event that was July 15th. I started with nothing, and I got, I don't know, most of this bird and like part of this bird done because you do more talking than you do stitching. But I got a decent amount done. It took me a while to realize that this was a baby one. Yes, I know I work with animals, but it doesn't look like that on the pattern. I forgot the pattern. I saw, who just showed this? Oh, Kathleen at Kathleen's Trodden Trail just showed this, and she put a little eye, and it makes it look much more obvious. I don't think my pattern has a little eye. So maybe a little black bead will go there. Anyways, so that's July. I'm not doing August or September's patterns. I never planned to, so I'm planning on getting out these and working on getting them finished in August and September, because as to date, I have done January through July, and I've only finished January. So I need to get caught up, because I need to get them to Vanna, and I need to find out when her deadline is for the end of the year. So that's that one. And again, I have my little matching set that I got from Shopmade Designs on Etsy. I'll show it one more time. She had so much fun with the giveaway that we did, so I did my giveaway. I'm still, the person who won fabric wanted fabric from Stephanie, so I sent that off to her, or ordered it and had it shipped directly to her. The person who won my Shopmade Design giveaway should be getting her stuff soon, because I think she shipped it last week, and typically only takes me about 2 weeks to get here from Hungary to the States. I don't know what fabric she picked because she did some custom fabric choices, but check her out if you're looking for a project bag. So this is what it looks like because it zips on 2 sides, which I think is pretty unique compared to most of the bags that I've seen. And then this is a little matching bag that has my flosses in it, and then the grime guard that matches. So she does super, super nice stuff. Oh, and then my third one, the shopping spree, I've got everything except 2 patterns that I wanted to order from my LNS, and I'm just waiting for them to call. Hopefully it doesn't take as long as the one in Columbus, right? Okay, so the other project I worked on was this hands-on design chalkboard ornaments. This is one that I started during Mania, and I think that before I had like that and that little piece done. So in 2 nights, which is like an hour each night, I got the rest of this done and the Mary. This night that I stitched this was Sunday. Yeah, today's Tuesday. This was Sunday, and I had a horrible headache trying to turn into a migraine. I don't know that I want to call it a migraine because I've had migraines before, and I really do not take calling headaches migraines lightly because they're serious. I can't function. I was able to function some, but it would go away and come back, and really the only thing that makes my migraines go away is sleeping with like one of those heat things that you can put around your shoulders over my head. However, I took a tip from Gerald Stitcher, he said that when he stitches, his migraines go away. I tried it once after he said it and I was too nauseated. I couldn't do it. I had to go to bed. But my headache wasn't a true migraine at the point that I started this, and I stitched for an hour and realized when I was done, my head didn't hurt the whole time. What is that about? How does that work? And how do I bottle that and sell it? So then last night I worked on this. I did the whole Mary, and I was so proud of myself. I was stitching the very last part of the M, and I was like, I did this whole thing and I didn't have to reverse stitch anything. That is awesome. Good focus. I got all the way down to like 2 rows from the bottom, and I was like, that's not gonna line up. Nope, because I added an extra little dot in there and it was up too high. So I had to take the whole stupid thing out, got all cocky with myself, and redo it. But I'm gonna work on this the rest of the week. So I'm done doing the July piece for the month. I'm gonna work on this for the last 5 days or so. The other thing that I worked on was this piece for my sister, Ebenezer's Christmas. I'm probably gonna end up doing it more like this. I love this with the background stitched in, but this is stitched on 40 count silk gauze, and it's just half stitches, 10 stitches, whatever you call it. And it's like probably this big. No, it's not probably this big. And I don't think I'm gonna try and fill this stuff in on the 36 count fabric. It's just gonna, or 32 count fabric. It's just gonna be too much, and it's gonna take too long. This still looks good this way. I just like that old antique-y. So my last video was all kinds of drama about switching the fabric, switching the threads. So still love the fabric. It's 32 count Legacy from Picture This Plus. I actually ordered more of that this morning in 32 and 36 count because now I love this fabric. I did end up switching the green to the juniper, which is a deeper green, and I like immediately was like, yep, so much better. And then I was like, I'm done. I'm not gonna change the red. There's just too many reds. I'm overwhelmed. Just stitch it. I like the red like it was. And then I was like, I'm just gonna try the ruby slippers. I'm just gonna try it. Look how good the ruby slippers looks. So this is Schoolhouse Red, which is what the pattern calls for, which I really like Schoolhouse Red. In fact, one night I got this out to stitch and the reds were together, and I was like, ah, I really just like how Schoolhouse Red looks. It's such a pretty red, and ruby slippers by itself really does not look like a very nice red. But when I looked back at, like, I got this out of the project bag and looked at the sled with the green, I just love it. So I'm gonna have to take this stupid Christmas out again for the 3rd time. I've already taken that heart out. I think this, yeah, this heart's ruby slippers. My light's not great today, so I don't know how well you're gonna tell that that's different than that, but I love ruby slippers on this fabric with the green and the black. So that's it. I changed it all. After I said I'm not changing anymore, I changed it all. Anyway, so that's the progress. I kind of made no progress and some progress. Like I got this done, I got the sled done and the horse started, but I have to take the hearts and the little berries out. I have to take this all out. Technically this is the old green, but I really don't think that you can tell compared to this. I don't know, I'll have to see if when I get more of it done, if I think I need to restitch this. But I love it. And I'm done with this for the month too. I feel comfortable with the progress I've made. I was getting frustrated because I kept changing my mind and knew I had to go back. So once I got this done, I just decided I was just gonna be done for the month. I'll try and get a lot more done next month because this is for this Christmas. So it has to get done. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. Okay, I think that's it. Where is my notebook? I'm at 33 minutes. I'm sure I talked super fast. Yep. That's all I got. Okay, so thanks for watching. If you're new, welcome. Thank you for subscribing and leaving comments. I love the comments. Thanks again to Jen at Jen's Stitching Niche and Kathleen from Kathleen's Trodden Trail for sending me my first ever floss tube racks. I loved it. And you know what? You guys always say, I wasn't having a great day and I got this in the mail, it made me so much happier, or you know, something, you know, bad was going on. Yes, I do love Hello Kitty. I got Kathleen's package. So the day was not bad. Nothing terrible happened at work. It was a long day. I was tired. Our air conditioning at work is not working great, so I was hot. I just was having like an anxious, like, day without really knowing what was wrong. And I don't like when you can pinpoint what the problem is. So, I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna go for a walk. I'm just gonna walk. It was too hot for me to take my dog So I was like, I'll just walk it off. And I didn't listen to music. I didn't listen to a book. I took my phone with me, but I never plugged it in. I just wanted silence and left it alone. I stitched for an hour with nothing. No floss tube, no music, no book, nothing, because I just wanted nothing. But when I got back from my walk, I did feel a little bit better from my walk. But when I got back, I checked the mail and Kathleen's package was in there. And like immediately you're like, this is fun and a distraction from whatever is making my brain so full of anxious angst. So yeah, I don't know how you guys know when to send stuff, but it seems like stuff always arrives when we all need it the most, right? So anyways, that's it. Thanks for watching. If you've got questions, leave them below. If you've got comments, I love to hear them. I think that's it, and I'll see you in about a month. Bye.